The Movie Preview Critic. Informing and entertaining your movie world.
As the comic book adaptation invasion of cinema goes into its 8th year, one thing is clear. Making a superhero movie is a huge responsibility. Producers, directors, and writers have heard the pleas of fanboys. Treat our heroes seriously and present them realistically. The result has been hardcore drama-infused summer blockbusters, like X-Men, Spider-Man, and Batman Begins. But for all the long pauses and close-ups of anguish, one aspect has gone unexplored. The fact that being a superhero is a real pain in the ass. 28 years ago, Superman 2 explored Clark Kent's mixed feelings about choosing personal desires over noble responsibility. And in 2004, Spider-Man 2 did the same thing with a little more comedy. But there's never been a noble approach to superheroism. Until now. Karl Marx once said, "History repeats itself. First is tragedy, second is farce." He could have been talking about the movie-making business, because there's been a ton of superhero movies rooted in drama, taking themselves very seriously over the last decade. And now, it's time to poke a little fun at these stories. While spoofs like Epic Movie and Superhero Movie have taken an over-the-top comedic angle of skewering our expectations of these crime fighters, they haven't really worked, because the film world is also in the middle of a spoof invasion. On the one side, we're all burnt out on superhero movies that are too serious, and at the other extreme, too wacky. We need a middle ground. A character and a story that doesn't overdo the close-ups of anguish and avoids having the character wink at the camera. We need Hancock. Finally, a story that asks the question, what if a regular guy had superpowers? A guy who just wanted to have some drinks, get some occasional lady action, relax, and not be burdened by all the responsibility of being the perfect crime fighter. This could have been titled Super Dude. So let's take a moment to look at the preview and discover the movie truth. First, let's just say, best superhero intro ever. The first depiction of a superhero flying under the influence. That's right, FUI. But not only is he hammered, he's still drinking. He's DWF, drinking while flying. Then he destroys the freeway signs, stops the car Fred Flintstone style, and because these guys broke his bottle of alcohol, he gets pissed and sticks them on top of a building. Who knows how they'll get down? What we do know is Hancock doesn't give a f***. I'm really starting to like this movie. Act 1 will focus on setting up Hancock's character, showing how bad of a f*** he is, how he manages to do the right thing but in the wrong way. In a way that gets people pissed at him. Here, in a stage publicity stunt, he stops the freight train, but as a result, he's derailed the train cars and caused a big traffic jam. It gets really fun here, because average Joe citizen who, in movies like Superman, Spider-Man, and Batman, would be there to clap and cheer the hero on, instead is taunting, complaining, and criticizing him.
I can smell that liquor on your breath.
'Cause I've been drinking.
Just when you're worried that the filmmakers are going to hit the brakes, slow things down, or play it safe, comes the next sequence. Hancock lands on the street and creates a huge pothole, either because he doesn't know how to land, or he's just too wasted to have accurate depth perception. Then, every superhero's ultimate supporter, the little kid, rips into him by calling him a jackass. But remember, Hancock isn't a Clark Kent, Peter Parker, Mr. Nice Guy. He's got attitude and not a lot of self-control.
Call me a jackass. One more time.
Jackass.
Holy effing shit. Did that just happen? Is this really Will Smith? I'm laughing more in this 3-minute trailer than I did at most 2-hour comedies last year. Act 2 begins when Hancock hires Ray, played by Jason Bateman, to be his public relations guy and help change his perceived image. This is where we see the most popular clip from the movie so far.
Oh my God.
I have one response. So let's issue warning sign number 51. The preview may be revealing all the best parts. Now, to be honest, I don't know if that's true. I really hope it's not. But there's so much good stuff in the preview that you gotta wonder how much they're holding back. And if there is even better material in the movie, then this has the potential to be an insta-classic. If you're not a believer yet, check out this next part. Ray recommends that Hancock go to jail to atone for the damage he's caused and the laws he's broken. Hancock agrees, and the following happens.
If you don't move, your head is gonna piss.
I think I'll pay $10 just to see what they're going to show when that scene happens. And if there's any doubt that they will show it, let's bring up the director, Peter Berg. You might know him as the captain of movies like Friday Night Lights and The Kingdom, but what matters here is his debut feature, Very Bad Things. The important thing about that is he really pushes boundaries. So if he's managed to incorporate some of that into Hancock, this should be a pretty fearless movie. But let's issue warning sign number 18. There's no mention of from the director of. Now granted, Peter Berg isn't the biggest name out there, but he's directed some quality films, so why not promote that? Probably because the studio is marketing only one person here, Will Smith, aka Mr. July Box Office. This is why Will Smith is the only image on the poster, because he's proven over and over again that he can attract loads of cash to his summer movies, even if they kinda suck. In total, Will Smith movies that have premiered in or around July have made about $2.2 billion. He may be human, but to Hollywood, he's a box office superhero. The middle of Act 2 starts when Hancock gets out of prison and makes this announcement. He gets a new uniform, which he really doesn't like, and he starts fighting crime on the wagon. After the post-character change first bad guy battle to show he's evolved as a person, the story gets back on track to what every superhero movie needs the most, and here has been lacking up to this point: a villain. This is where Act 3 most likely begins. Thus far, there hasn't been an indication that Hancock has a nemesis, other than his out-of-control self and some minor random criminals. Which brings up warning sign number 60. There's no clear opposition. And what happens here in the last 20 seconds of the preview is interesting. First, what sounds like a major twist occurs when Ray is seen talking to someone off-screen. Is he working with Hancock's enemy? Then a bigger surprise. Mary appears to have superpowers. Is she Hancock's nemesis? If we look here, we can see him fighting with someone with blonde hair. They even engage in a Matrix Revolutions-like Neo-Agent Smith battle where they collide, creating a sonic boom bubble. Of course, every superhero movie needs a moment like this where the hero looks like he's gonna lose, and of course recovers, gets back on his feet, and finds a way to win. And because it's Will Smith, you know he's gonna live to fight again in the sequel. In Hancock, what's new, fresh, and entertaining is an original presentation of a not-so-super superhero. In a lot of ways, you can imagine this role being written for Billy Bob Thornton, who 5 years ago transformed the iconic image of Santa and his own Hollywood image into that of a drunken, foul-mouthed bad boy. And had he been cast here, the movie would have seemed just like another Billy Bob swearfest. The key here is Will Smith, because much like Hancock, he also has an image problem. According to his critics, he's too PG, too nice, too 1950s, which is where the superhero genre is stuck as well. Both have been seen as clean-cut, polite, and all-American nice guys, so you can imagine that just like Hancock, Will Smith's agent told him that he needed an image makeover, and that this movie was the one to do it. The key here will be the ending, because just like Bad Santa, no matter how horrible the character, we the audience are always waiting for that redeeming moment. The scene where Billy Bob's character shows a spark of change, a little decency, and thankfully, in that movie, there wasn't. Hopefully here, director Peter Berg will give Hancock some growth, but not major change. Let him learn some lessons, but don't lose what's made him so interesting for 90% of the movie. He's a jerk, a big, entertaining, genre-challenging a-hole. Don't make it cliche and expected when it's been a wonderful, surprising ride for almost 2 hours. It's risky, it's unexpected, and it's hard to find in today's cookie-cutter assembly line of movie production. It somehow snuck through the market research checks and balances, so let's not lose it. If Will Smith has Oscar in his sights, this is a good start. It could change the perception people outside and inside of Hollywood have of him. He needs to take the advice Vince Vaughn gave Iron Man director Jon Favreau in Swingers. Don't be the PG-13 guy, be the rated R guy. The movie preview critic rates Hancock worthy of big screen viewing. See it at regular price on a weekend night in a packed theater. You'll see it because you love superhero movies, comedy, action, and the actors, especially since Will Smith is playing against type. And of course, the title is highly porn spoofable. Now, let's find Hancock's place in movie history. It won't impact Will Smith's career the same way Bad Santa changed Billy Bob Thornton's, but it should have a stronger impact than Bad News Bears had on Walter Matthau's career, Kindergarten Cop on Arnold Schwarzenegger's, and The Pacifier on Vin Diesel's. In terms of superhero movies, it won't be better than Spider-Man 1, 2, or 3, Iron Man, Batman Begins, Batman, Superman, or Superman 2, but it should be better than Superman 3 and 4, Superman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, Elektra, Daredevil, and funnier than superhero and epic movie. So there it is, Hancock's place in movie history. Until next time, choose your movies wisely, and as always,
Long live good movies.